Now, I had a lot of books I was looking forward to in 2021. Did I read them all? Hello. My name is Nakia. Welcome to my channel. So I decided to do something that I thought would be a little bit fun. Go through the 2021 book releases that I had on my list that I was looking forward to. And let's see how many of them I got into. And if I did not read them, why not? Wouldn't you like to know? Now, I can't take credit for this video. I saw this on Jess Owen's channel, but I had it on my radar. I was like, I would love to update people on my 2021 book releases to let them know if I read them or not. And then when I saw that she did a video, I was like, oh, okay, so that is a good video idea. Okay, I will link her video below. Very entertaining if you have not seen it. But so yeah, let's get into mine, find out what I read and whatnot. Now, I will link my book list playlist here in the cards where you can find my 3 videos that I did last year with anticipated book releases. I did one for thriller books, horror books, and then for the second half of the year. So all of those books will be in this video. So let's go. I have my list on my phone. We are going in no particular order. So first up, we have The Lost Village by Camilla Stein, I'm not sure. But if you're watching my channel, you've probably already heard about this book. Now, this one said it was Midsummer meets the Blair Witch Project. So everyone was excited, myself included. This is about a group of folks who are going to make a documentary about a cult, I believe. Some things that happen with the cult. They go to investigate. And what I heard from the general book community is wah, wah, wah. Everybody said this book sucked. I think maybe 1 or 2 people liked it, but for the most part, everyone did not like it. They said it was slow, it was boring, etc., etc. And you know, I just had too many books to read, so I was like, never mind, forget about it. I don't think I'll ever try to read it. Who knows, but I don't think so. Next up, we have The Smashed Man of Dread Inn by J.W. Ocker. Now, I loved his book, 12 Nights at Rotterhouse. It was one of my favorite horror books of 2021 that I read in 2021. So this one is a middle grade book. I still want to read it, so it's still on the list. It's just not top of the list, but it's still on the list. It's about a little girl who moves into this new house, and the kids in the neighborhood tell her, whatever you do, don't go into the basement. She goes into the basement anyway, and there is something down there. Smashed man, something like that. I don't know. Sounds spooky and creepy. Like I said, I still want to read it, so it's still on the list. Next up, we have Billy Summers by Stephen King. Now, this one is more of a thriller for Stephen King. It was about a hitman, assassin, something like that. Goes on the road. I don't even know. I think he's also a former soldier, something. I don't know. But it was on my list until I heard it had a lot of politics in it. I ain't here for that. And I mean like current politics, where he gets into a certain president who served around 2016, something like that. Anyway, that ain't what I'm here for. So I was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So it's off the list. Next up, we have The Island by C.L. Taylor. I don't know a lot about this one. I know there's a YA thriller mystery book about some kids that go on an island, and that's all I know. Look, last year, I was still learning what I like and don't like, and this year I know I'm not really here for the YA books, so especially not no YA mystery. The ones I have read this year have gotten on my nerves, so there was no need to do it. I think later I realized I didn't want to read a YA book, and I took it off the list, but yeah, so if you read it, you can let me know, but I'm not interested. Next up, we have The Jigsaw Man by Nadine Matheson. Now, this one I did read. It was probably my most anticipated book of 2021. I read it. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to her sequel. It's a book about a serial killer and a detective who's hunting him. They have a past, some history. Like I said, we're following from the perspective of the detective, which is what I need when we're dealing with serial killers. I don't want to be in their mind. So like I said, I enjoyed it when I read it last year, and I'm looking forward to book number 2. Okay, and then we have another YA book, 2021 Nakia didn't know no better. This one is The Ivies by Alexa Dawn. And this one is dark academia, thriller, mystery, I don't know. I don't think I'm into no dark academia, so I don't know why this was on the list. The kids are like doing whatever they can to get into Ivy League schools, including murder or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, not interested in dark academia, not interested in YA, so off it went. Next, we have A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. Another YA book. What was wrong with me? I would really like to know. I didn't know no better. Excuse me. But here we are. This one, I saw romance when I was just looking back on this. I really don't know what I was thinking. This one is also dark academia. Some girls at a school, mysteries, whatnot. I don't know. Her girlfriend died. I don't know. Don't care. Not interested. Sorry. Next, we have Dark Stars, New Tales of Darkest Horror, edited by John F.D. Taft. And this is a horror short story collection with stories by Josh Mallerman, Stephen Graham Jones, etc., etc. I still plan to read this. It's still on the list. Probably the spooky seasons when I'll get to it. You shall see, won't you? Next, we have White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is another one I was really looking forward to. It said Get Out meets Haunting of Hill House. I swear, for God, I said this in the video. If I hear one more book say Get Out meets anything, we gonna have some problems. Stop saying that, because it's not. Anyway, I was still like, I want to read it. I want it to be good. But I started hearing rumblings in the streets that there was a good amount of race dealings going on. I don't need all that in my horror books. Also, I know it had to do something with marijuana and the jail system, something like that. I don't know. I didn't want all that politics in my book. I just don't. I just wanted a good old-fashioned haunted house story. So I lost interest. Plus, people that read it said it wasn't that good. So again, I was like, Anyway, we're not reading it. Next. Now this one, I know y'all probably in the comments gonna be like, you should read it, you should read it. Yes, you're probably right, but I don't think I will. I am speaking of The Push by Ashley Audrain. I believe this won a Goodreads Choice Awards. It was nominated, whatever. I've talked about this before. I am not really into the domestic thriller situation. This one has to do with a mom whose child is acting weird. She thinks something's wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Those really don't interest me. I'm a mom, so those kind of stories just don't appeal to me. I'm sorry. I know everyone loves it. I'm just not interested. This next one also falls into a category of where it's just something I just generally don't want to read, not really interested in. And that is The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I don't really like slasher books, not as much into slasher movies. I like the old school Friday the 13th and Halloween, but new stuff, not really my thing. So I'm not really interested in this book. Plus, I still don't know how I feel about Grady Hendrix. I've only read Horror Store, wasn't crazy about that. So that also didn't make me want to read this. But I will probably try one of his other books eventually. Not this one though. And then next we have Noor by Nnedi Okorafor. Now you know I love the first Binti book. I enjoyed the second Binti book. Third one, not so much. I ended up DNFing it. And that's when I think I looked at Noor and I was like, I don't know if I want to read that anymore. And I just know it's about a young lady who has an accident to where she's immobilized, disabled, something like that. She also gets some artificial parts, intelligence, whatnot. I don't know. I just wasn't interested. If you've read it and think I should read it, let me know. But I don't know. Like I said, I just lost interest. Okay, we have another one of these domestic thrillers. Once again, 2021 Nakia didn't know no better. The Perfect Daughter by DJ Palmer. I don't know. Just listen to the title. It's just not for me. I don't even remember what it's about, but once again, I don't care about no domestic thrillers with kids and moms and dads, whatever. No. All right. And then we have The View from the Fishbowl by Elizabeth Crounce. Now, this one I do still plan to read in 2022. This one is about a man who is immobilized and he finds out that someone wants to kill his roommate and he has to try to stop the murder. It has great reviews, so I still want to read it. Still looking forward to it. Hopefully I get to it this year. I hope. Now this next one, once again, y'all probably gonna come for me. I don't care. You could try. But I'm speaking of Near the Bone by Christina Henry. I know. So many of you love it. Just doesn't interest me. It is about a young lady who is in an abusive relationship and her man are on this mountain in the snow or whatever, and there's some kind of monster creature out there, plus she's stuck with this horrible abusive man. One, I don't want to read about no abusive relationship. I don't need those details. I don't want to read it. Secondly, I just think it's not my thing. I just think it's going to be too subtle, the horror and also the meanings and all of that. I just, after I'm thinking of ending things, I just don't. I did find out recently what the creature is, but I'm still not interested. So yeah, just not my thing. Next up, we have Far from the Light of Heaven by Tay Thompson, a sci-fi novel. it's still on the list because this one has one of my favorite tropes. People waking up, not knowing what the hell is going on. I know this is a group of people on a ship, on a mission. One of them wakes up, doesn't know anything. That's all I remember. But again, it's still on the list. I still want to read it. I've heard mixed reviews. I don't care. I want to see for myself. Okay, and this next one you already know and have heard a lot about by now. Probably read it yourself, but I'm speaking of Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I read this one, did a review. We'll link it here. Yeah, if you don't know by now, this one is about a woman who is on a college campus. She's trying to get home. She gets a ride with this young man, but there is also a serial killer on the loose. She ends up thinking she's in the car with this serial killer. And then she thinks she needs to escape from him. Now, this is one of those books you either loved it or hated it, but I was in the middle. I thought it was fine. It was entertaining. You can go check out my review, as I said. So I did read that one. Check. Okay. And then this next one was also one of my most anticipated books of 2021. Like, I could not wait. I was waiting on that release date. And I'm speaking of My Sweet Girl by Amanda Jayatisa. I hope that's how you say her name. This one. This one is about a young lady who is adopted in Sri Lanka and then she moves to the US. She ends up subletting a room in her apartment, I believe. And the young man who moves there discovers she has some secrets. And then he turns up dead. And et cetera, et cetera. Like I said, I was so looking forward to this one until I read a sample, a preview. The main character was so unlikable from page 1. She was just mean. And I was like, I'm supposed to care about this lady and read a whole book about her? I just can't. If you read it and you enjoyed it, please let me know in the comments. But I just couldn't deal with the main character from just the little bit I read. Oh, so disappointing. And then we have another YA book, YA horror. The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovalino. This one, I believe, is about this young lady and a young man. I believe two of them go to a library and they discover there's a devil, a demon that they unleash when they pick up a book, something like that. I don't know. I actually just forgot about this one. I don't know why I didn't read it. So maybe I'll still read it. I don't know. Once again, it's YA, so I'm leaning more towards no. But you can convince me in the comments if you read it and you liked it and you enjoyed it. Let me know. Okay, next up we have Later by Stephen King. Now this one I did read. I also did a review. I will link it here. I really enjoyed this one, and believe it or not, it was my first Stephen King book. I know. But yes, I'm glad it was though, because I enjoyed it. All right. I was intrigued by this one about a young man who can see ghosts. He sees the ghosts the way that they died. So if they were decapitated, that's how he sees them. If they were burned alive, that's how he sees them. And then he gets intertwined with this cop who's trying to use his abilities to track down a criminal. And it's also about his coming of age and his relationship with his single mother, all that good stuff. Like I said, I enjoyed it. I considered it horror. Other people did not. It was to me, but that's neither here nor there. Another one I read. Look at me. I've read a few. Check. This next one I attempted to read, but it ended up being a DNF, unfortunately. And I'm speaking of Shelter for the Damned by Mike Thorne. This is another one, coming of age story about a group of kids who find this house where it's haunted or something. I don't know. Strange things are supposed to go on in this house. I never got to that part. It was too much of the coming of age part, and I just wasn't into it. I was just a little bit bored. Sorry. So like I said, I did attempt this one, but it did end up also being a DNF. So let's move on. Now, we have Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I also did a review on this one. Check it out. So, I also talked about this one in my recent wrap-up, December-January wrap-up, but I did not enjoy this one. Spoiler alert. This had so much promise. I clearly was excited about this book because I read it not long after it came out. This one is about a couple who go away on a vacation. They went on a trip for their anniversary and they're isolated. It is snow and all of that stuff. The husband suffers from facial blindness. These two have secrets and lies betwixt them. And yeah, we had to find out what was going to happen. So I was just disappointed in this one. The facial blindness part was not good enough for my liking. The twist just did not make sense. So many things didn't make sense. I was entertained. I got through it, but No, it was not a good thriller mystery for me. Sorry. Okay, we have another horror anthology collection, The Dead Hours of Night by Lisa Tuttle. This is another one I still want to read. Like I said, it's an anthology collection. That's all I know, but I still want to read it. Maybe also this spooky season. We'll see. Next up, we have a thriller mystery, The Couple at Number 9 by Claire Douglas. This is another one. I don't remember what happened with this one, so I may still read it. If you've read it and liked it, let me know. But this one, as far as I know, is about a couple. They move into this house. I think it's their grandmother's old house or something like that. A dead body is found in the walls when they try to renovate. They go to talk to the grandma. She has Alzheimer's, so she doesn't remember a lot. But they need to find out what the hell happened and how much do you know, Granny? What you not telling us? So like I said, I think I still want to read this one. We'll see. Next up, we have I Am Not Who You Think I Am by Eric Rickstad. Now, this is another one that I don't know. I just lost interest in. I don't know. I don't think I still want to read it based off of the premise. But it is about a boy who is 8 years old, I believe, and he sees his father commit suicide. Jeez. And then 8 years later, he finds a note that his dad left him that says, I am not who you think I am. And he learns all these secrets and mysteries and whatnot about his dad. Just dark, grim, gracious. I think that's why I lost interest. I don't know. But once again, if you read it, and you think I will enjoy it, you can always let me know below. All right. Next, we have The Last Guess by J.P. Pomer. Now, another thriller mystery, but it's just funny looking at this list because these are not the type of thriller mysteries I have on my list for this year. But nonetheless, here we are. This one is about a couple that decide to rent out their vacation home, and I think a dead body is discovered, something like that. I don't know. I just lost interest. I was like, I don't really want to read it anymore. Yeah, I just don't care. And last but not least, we have the infamous Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Caw. This one is a haunted house story. It's a short novella. It is based in Japanese folklore. It is about a group of friends who go to this mansion that is haunted, and it's for a wedding party, something like that. And yeah, I was looking forward to this, and I started hearing so many bad things where people were just saying that the main characters, the group of friends, were so unlikable and they just didn't like it. But then you know what? I was like, I like a challenge. So I think I'm still going to read it because it's a short novella and I want to be able to weigh in on it. So stay tuned. I still plan to read it eventually. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. All of the 2021 book releases that I did or did not read and why or why not. So this was fun to look back and think about what I had on the list and why and how my tastes have changed. As I said, let me know in the comments about the books that I asked for your opinions on, if you think I should read them or not. And you can let me know if you also decided not to read any of these books for any of the reasons that I listed or any of your own. Let me know. I want to talk about it. Let's get into it. And I will have all of the books listed in the description box below, as well as ways you can support my channel. Also, if you click on one of these books and purchase, that helps support my channel, regardless of what I said. You can still check them out. Also, links to my social media are also always below. Goodreads, all that good stuff. Ways we can chit chat even more. And if you want to just show me some love, you don't really have a comment, you can leave me an emoji. And let's see, you can leave me a knife because a lot of these books on this list were thriller, horror, mystery books. So leave me a knife emoji below. Just show me some love. And that is all for this video. So until next time, snuggle up in your hideaway with a good book, unplug as much as possible, be kind to all kind, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.